Hi, my name's Kim, and I'm going to talk about natural gas in the United States. Okay. Natural gas. Why are we not proactive in building infrastructure to withstand disasters? Gas versus electric. Federal ozone standards versus safety of our people. Federally, we need to demand they secure the power grid. We need to demand that the government not consider us expendable. And right now, if we ban natural gas and don't fix the power grid, people will probably die if something happens. That is the government and people knowing, well, bad things can happen and not doing anything to prevent it. It would be genocide or government murder, and they will get away with it. The government needs to be accountable for my taxpayer dollars for having all of us having the security and peace of mind knowing we should have a power grid that is secure in the modern era. Presented by Kim. Natural gas is a non-renewable resource that is not healthy source of fuel or heat. That being said, the alternative electric is not secured. Our very foundation of our society, heat, cooking, the ability to cook and have warmth, is not secured. The power grid is aging, raised above ground, and prone to disasters. So that rather than being secured underground, we have a power grid that is vulnerable. The power grid being vulnerable makes our people vulnerable to the tune of death and destruction over and over again. Eliminate natural gas makes us more vulnerable as people, especially in the northern regions like New York where it gets very, very cold. When will people stop being vulnerable to nature? Why don't we build our power grid that can withstand natural disasters? In New York, for instance, where they have excessive snow and flooding after the snow, shouldn't they be rebuilding the infrastructure to withstand the natural disasters they know are coming? And mandating that happens? And if we want to eliminate the only heating source that can withstand the natural disaster, it would be morally wrong to do that, even incompetent. If you eliminated natural gas in lieu of electric energy, we as people need to demand the power grid gets buried and secured. Electricity is secured in redundancy before we eliminate natural gas as a fuel source, because our lives depend on it, and I'm sure the government won't consider our lives to matter. But we should, and this is why we should care for all of us. We should not just be expendable due to, oh, I decided to get rid of natural gas. They aren't thinking about the consequences federally. They want to ban natural gas, and that being said, we would be the victims of that ban. People, thousands, could die. And we need to demand that they secure the electric grid in redundancy, such as burying the power lines and making sure that flooding and other disasters don't take out the power grid, securing energy for our future, because it's morally wrong to eliminate a source of energy or carbon emissions without considering the short-term consequences. Global warming and carbon are real threats, federally or globally, but so are short-term mistakes. We shouldn't allow these mistakes to happen because they are coming. And when people die, they will go, oh, here's some funding for the disaster, but they won't admit why it happened or who's responsible. The policy of the United States government is to plan for everyone's future. The energy infrastructure of the United States should be secured and secure our electric grid from disasters and redundancy, and then protect it. It's our job as people to demand that the government do what's right. Protect our redundant power grid. Protect our power grid. Protect our people. Reduce carbon emissions at the same time while burying the power grid to make sure that people are secured so we don't just martyr our own people. We shouldn't just say people are expendable because we want to make a policy. We need to make sure that people are secured before we set in a federal policy that says, oh, let's ban natural gas without a backup plan. I don't like to live without a backup plan in my home. Then why should the government be expecting us to all live like that? That's wrong. Use my taxpayer dollars to bury the power grid, and shame on anyone who doesn't support this. Thank you.